So if you remember, right at the top you have the central sulcus. So the central sulcus divides the portion that is right in front of the central sulcus, which is called the precentral gyrus. So this precentral gyrus that is present right in front of the central sulcus, this is your motor area. So this is where the neurons which will go into the skeletal muscles, they will synapse right here. So this is your primary motor cortex. This is the precentral gyrus. Whereas right behind the central sulcus is your postcentral gyrus. This is your somatosensory cortex. So sensory neurons that are coming from your sense organs, they are going to come and synapse right here. So somatosensory cortex in the postcentral gyrus, motor cortex or primary motor cortex in the precentral gyrus. In front of it, in this prefrontal cortex, this is what makes who you are. So this is your emotion center, this is your problem solving, this is your personality, this is your ability to respond to stimuli, how you behave, how you respond, all of that is decided, as well as your complex thinking, problem solving happens in the prefrontal area right here. At the back where the occipital lobe is, this is your visual area. So right where this purple area is, right in the center of the occipital lobe, you have the visual cortex. Around it, in this yellow portion, is the association area. So the cortex, the visual cortex receives the information, the association helps you understand what that information is. Similarly, in the temporal lobe, right next to the ear, you have the primary auditory cortex, and right around that you have the auditory association cortex. The two areas which are important right here, and most of the time these two areas are present only on one side of the brain, and they are present usually on the left hemisphere. One is the Broca's area, which is present right in front of the temporal lobe and slightly inferior to the temporal lobe. The Broca's area controls our muscles for speech. So when we speak different languages, how we speak, our muscles, the way they move, that is controlled by the Broca's area. A region which is posterior or behind the temporal lobe right here, this is the Wernicke's area. This is our understanding of languages. So when we hear, when we listen, whether we're listening to words or music, or whether we're learning different languages, all that interpretation happens right here in the Wernicke's area. And remember, the Broca's and the Wernicke's area are usually present in the left hemisphere, only on one side of the brain. So then that's of course your cerebellum at the back, mainly postural repetitive movements, that is going to happen right here. And then you can see the same parts that we saw there before in that sagittal section. There's the cingulate gyrus, which is sitting on top, which has your limbic system activities. Same with the fornix, which is right underneath. The fornix also participates in the limbic system. In between the cingulate gyrus and the fornix is your corpus callosum. So we have an unlabeled model where you will not have all these labels interfering, so you will be able to see the corpus callosum spreading in between. Right beneath the fornix is this choroid plexus, the blood vessel system that makes your CSF. So that's your choroid plexus that you can see in this dark gray color right here. Okay, so all of these parts are better visible on the sagittal section, so use that. And then comes your diencephalon, which is linked to the pituitary gland by the infundibulum right here. You have all the midbrain pons and medulla oblongata. So these are the models that we need to know. Let's spend some time, maybe 15-20 minutes, looking at all the models.